Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video. Crab stuffed shrimp. Welcome to the channel. If you're looking for some authentic Cajun and Creole recipes, good old down-home comfort food, and just about anything for that matter, then you're in the right place. Today we're going to be looking at a recipe for crab stuffed shrimp. Super delicious, easy to make, and we're just going to cut to the chase and get to it. Let's get to the kitchen so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Here are some of the ingredients, and as usual, I will have that full recipe down in the description box below. We're going to start off by getting our vegetables prepped. Now, most of our prepping is going to come in the form of getting those shrimp ready, but we'll get to that in a few. Right now, we're going to get our vegetables ready, and then we'll move on from there. Now, you want to make sure that you give everything a very small dice. You don't want any big chunks of vegetables in this stuffing. All right, we're going to get a frying pan, heat it up to a medium heat. We're going to put about a tablespoon of butter in there. Let's get that melted. Once that's melted, we're going to throw our vegetables in there. We're going to saute them for a good 5 to 8 minutes. Now that we let our vegetables saute for about 5 minutes or so, we're going to add that garlic. I'm using a garlic press here. Now, once I get that in there, we're going to give it a quick stir. We're going to let this saute for about 2 minutes, stirring frequently, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. Now we're going to add our fresh herbs, give this a quick mix, let it saute for about 2 minutes or so, then we're going to turn the fire off, set this pan to the side, and then we're going to let it come down to room temperature. So now I'm going to get my breadcrumbs ready, and I'm using Ritz crackers. Okay, you can use saltine crackers, you can use regular breadcrumbs, you can use panko breadcrumbs, which is really good because it gives it a nice crunchy texture. But that's the great thing about cooking, right? You don't have to follow this recipe verbatim. Just use it as a base to make this however you want. Alright, so I'm going to throw these crackers in this little small food processor, get them nice and crumbled up, and then we'll move on from there. Now we're going to get our shrimp ready. Now I bought these, they're already deveined. You just have to peel them, and we are going to cut them down the back to flatten them out a little bit. I apologize, I didn't get a great shot of it, but this is what it's supposed to look like. You want it to lay flat, the tail curl over, because this is how we're going to stuff it, which you're going to see here in a few. Now that the vegetables that we sauteed have come down to room temperature, it's time to put this all together. We're going to start off by taking an egg, cracking it into this bowl, and we're just going to whisk it just enough to where the white and the yolk come together. Now it's time to bring this all together. We have those vegetables that we sauteed. They have come down to room temperature. We're going to mix that with the crab meat. Then we're going to season it with that Creole seasoning, a little Worcestershire sauce, some hot sauce. We're going to put the egg in here. We're going to put the breadcrumbs in here, the mayonnaise, some lemon zest and some lemon juice. And everything that's pretty much in that ingredient list is going to go into here. And look, that ingredient list is just a base for you to follow. Make this as much of your own as you can. That is the great thing about cooking. Recipes are just a basis for you to build your own recipe out of. That's what I do all the time. That's why I love cooking, and I encourage you to do the same thing. All right, we got a shrimp here. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of this Creole seasoning. Now, you might think I'm using a lot of this seasoning in this recipe, but this is very low in salt, so it allows me to use a lot more than I would normally use with any other kind of seasoning. So once we get our shrimp seasoned up here, I'm going to take about 2 to 3 teaspoons of that crab mixture and form it into a ball the best I can, and then we're going to place it on the shrimp just like this. Now that we got all our shrimp stuffed, we're going to go ahead and give it another little sprinkle of that Creole seasoning. Now let's get these cooking. Now you would be better off throwing these in your oven at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. You can put them on the grill, but do not use any smoke because this crab mixture will soak up too much of that smoke flavor and it will be bitter, and we don't want that. Ask me how I know. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes. I've tried a couple. Now we're going to go inside and throw some in the oven for reasons I just explained a second ago. Here we go, fresh out of the oven, not the smoker, and these were much better. Just go ahead, throw them in the oven, you won't regret it, super tasty, and look, if you haven't already and you'd like to subscribe, click here. If you want to check out one of the other videos on this channel, check out this playlist, but YouTube thinks this may be the video you want to watch. Either way, click one of those and I'll see you there.